is scary. Oh, it's spookier than spooky? More horrifying than horror? Deathier than death itself? Bad beans. Boring, basic coffee is leaving you dead inside. Thank the doctor. National emergency.
The new stay-at-home order.
We will shut you down.
Don't think you can get on a plane or a train.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
And we will take you to jail.
We've got to get them vaccinated.
Or we will keep you in a facility longer.
As the world was descending into synchronized tyranny, I began to ask myself, how did they get everyone to go along with this? Obsessed with finding the answer, I began studying every moment in recorded history where masses of people acted against their own self-interest.
The only mechanism that can explain what was happening in society.
Screw your freedom. You're a schmuck.
They were telling us this whole time. Remember the movie 2012? It was released in 2009.
The biggest eruptions in human history, causing the highest neutrino count we've ever recorded. That's not what bodies reaction. For the first time ever, the neutrinos are causing a physical reaction. That's impossible.
Totally amazed to find out the prophecy of the first wave of ascension that was going to happen by mid-2025. And there is going to be, as I just said, full solar flash only after everybody's ready for it.
And goodbye.
So some of us are going to be able to get into that higher astral body and be ready for the full-blown fourth density right away. After this first wave happens. So apparently there will be some people who become
Una taza de café, por favor. Una taza de café, por favor.
Yo necesito un restaurante.
Yo quiero una ensalada. Una ensalada. Español.
Get more with Super Duolingo. Reach your language goals fast with premium features that optimize your learning. With no limits to the mistakes you can make and no ads. Super learners are 4.2 times more likely to
superheroes right off the bat. And this could involve telekinesis, this could involve telepathy, this could involve shooting lightning out of your hands, balls of light out of your hands. All these kinds of interesting things appear to be some of the basic stuff. The ability to project thought forms, to project complex visual thought forms.
Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way.
You're not human.
It's tough to get any more obvious than that.
If I had to guess, I'd say you were programmed from the machine. So is he.
So far, so good.
But if that's true, that could mean you were part of the system. Another kind of control.
Keep going.
I suppose the most obvious question is, how can I trust you?
Bingo. Not like you, but... Look, Siddle Scourge. At some point, a program was written to govern them. A program was written to watch over the trees, the wind, sunrise and sunset. There are programs running all over the place. The ones doing their job, doing what they were meant to do, are invisible. You never even know they were here. But the other ones, you hear about them all the time.
I've never heard that question.
I don't know what happens when you go down the conspiracy theory rabbit holes. You find out some stuff that's really grieving. They've had free electricity for over 100 years and haven't told people because they've suppressed it. The government has literally captured the patents so that other people...
Quinceañera party! My first! I've been to a lot of quinceas, which is why I know we're too early. You said a quinceañera was a grand celebration of a 15th birthday. Why arrive late if it's so major? Well, it is major, but we're not late. The invitation says 5, and it's 4:58, and I'm ready to dance. Truly an angel on the dance floor, but I'm telling you, we're early. Okay, everyone, prepare yourself for the party of the year. Okay, seems like Lynn was right. Oh, but meantime, let's do present reveal. Actually, I brought something way better. Ta-da! With all this waiting around, by the time we get to the quinceañera, she'll be 30. In Spanish-speaking countries, if an invite says a party starts at a certain time, it usually means to arrive a couple hours after that. Very much my vibe. Lynn, check out my shoulders. Ooh, the mariachi band is definitely playing. I can sense it. It's barely 6:11. Only elders and top-tier cousins are arriving. Lynn, it's 7. Only really good friends are showing up at this time. Wait, that's us. Okay, find the biggest prize on the wall. We need to cash in the tickets now. I'm okay. Finally, let's try this again. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
Reproduce it. it's that bad. Once you learn the political corruption, you start going, well, what else? It never ends. Like if you knew that there's medicine that doesn't have side effects that can actually heal you, you would no longer be a customer. If you knew that there's free electricity, you would no longer be a customer. If you knew that certain foods are poisoning you and causing you to get on the hamster wheel of needing medication that doesn't actually heal you, you would no longer be a customer. Everything is about sucking stuff out of you. You know the movie The Matrix where everybody's hooked up to the thing, bro? Like, I'm not trying to be crazy. I'm not trying to be crazy, bro, but like it's kind of like that. Like the more I look, it's everywhere, bro. Once you start to see...
Di video of the year is here. We're talking about the 50% off Black Friday sale for Daily Wire Plus. You need to subscribe right now because we have tons of amazing stuff coming this year. Not just Bentkey, which is our brand new kids app, where you can actually plant your kids in front of the TV for 10 minutes and not worry they're going to...
The fence around you everywhere that they've built so that you can only go so far, you start to realize that it truly is a prison planet.
Welcome back to the coolest channel on YouTube, man. Look, welcome back to the OG family. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's get this video right here to like 20,000 likes, y'all. I know we can do that. But look, this is one of those ones, people. You know what I'm saying? Look, watch the video from the beginning to the end because you'll miss something. And look, breaking them ankles once again, your ass will be lost in the sauce. You know what I'm saying? But look, make sure y'all smash that like button, share with your friends and your family. Just know if you're going through a tough time out here, we're going through this thing called life together. You're never in it by yourself. Good vibes only. Y'all know how we do around here. Don't believe anything you see or hear in these videos. Make sure you always going out here doing your own research because you are your own creator and you discover what's real and what means something to you or not. But look, let's vibe out. Let's get into this video.
Breaking news, the president declaring a national emergency.
The new stay-at-home order.
We will shut you down.
Don't think you can get on a plane or a train.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
And we will take you to jail.
We've got to get them vaccinated.
Or we will keep you in a facility longer.
As the world was descending into synchronized tyranny, I began to ask myself, how did they get everyone to go along with this? Obsessed with finding the answer, I began studying every moment in recorded history where masses of people acted against their own self-interest.
The only mechanism that would explain what was happening in society,
Screw your freedom. You're the schmuck.
was what is usually referred to as mass formation.
We are now with an economy in crisis, but with an incredible opportunity.
Unprecedented opportunity.
For a reset.
Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished heads of state and government, the future is built by us. We need a great reset.
When they say you'll be happy, what they mean is you'll be enslaved.
Today, we have the technology to hack human beings on a massive scale.
Who masters those technologies will be the master of the world.
Those who control the data control the future, not just of humanity, but the future of life itself.
Every aspect of our life has been infiltrated by people that do not have our best interests at heart.
There are forces using fear and isolation to induce mass psychosis.
I don't want you to be hopeful.
Environmental doom. Fires.
I want you to panic.
Storms. It will kill your children.
I want you to feel the fear I feel every day.
People are starting to wake up. They're starting to cross the world.
I'm seeing people come together from all walks of life, finally saying enough is enough.
We didn't come here for no reason. We have a voice. We're here to share it.
We have to be the solution. We cannot rely on the media, the president, or whoever to fix these problems.
I would rather pick up cans on the side of the highway than to live out of alignment with my truth.
We're all being driven back to the dream.
As you see in the audience, Democrats, Republicans, white, black, everyone all in between, this is the example that they do not want to see, but they have no choice.
The masses of humanity have been slapped awake.
Open your eyes.
It's time to wake up.
This is the Great Awakening.
People cannot go back into the Matrix now. A lot of people are trying to. They can't.
Psst, pass it on.
See Andre 3000's new promo video for a GQ. So I want you to notice that he's looking at you like he's telling you something, like he's got a message for you, alright? Just look at him. Right. He's looking at you like he's got a message for you, like he's telling you something. Even the one on top of the washing machine,
I just got the perfect gift for my boyfriend that has everything that he needs for 25% off at manscaped.com. Shipping was free, and they even sent me 2 free gifts, the upgraded Boxers 2.0 and the Shed 2.0 travel bag. It comes with the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra full body trimmer, which is waterproof and has skin-safe technology so you can get the perfect shave, even on his delicate areas. It has 2 interchangeable trimmer heads so you can trim with up to 7 guard lengths, or you can use the foil head for a smooth shave anywhere. It also has their ear and nose hair trimmer, a soothing post-shave gel, and deodorant for his downstairs. Shop now at manscaped.com.
These deals of the week at Walgreens. Save on essentials and more only at Walgreens.
Looking down at you, and then when the camera pans in, into the washer, he leans down like he's literally trying to tell you something. Watch him. Watch him. You see? All right. So what are they telling you? Let's dissect this. Let's get it. Thank you to TikTok for bringing back 10-minute videos. First off, all right. So we are all aware that we're in a matrix. We are in a game. Okay. And the game has rules, and the game is also fixed. Okay. Meaning we've done this over and over and over again. Hence why he's at a laundromat, right? He's in a cycle. He's got a cycle going, right? Pun intended or no pun intended, the way that you can look at it. So since we know the game is fixed, so there are messages that the game carries, and everything is literally a message about literally everything. So who are they talking about here? Okay, Andre. Okay, let's dissect the name. So we can look at it many ways. We have and ray. Okay. A ray is a light, right? The light is the sun, okay? Or and Ra, which is again the sun, and Ra, because A-E-I-O-U are the same thing. 0 is not a number, so you have 3, okay? And Ra 3, which is the 3-strand DNA that we've been talking about, right? This is our quote-unquote junk DNA unlocking, and it says is back with the exclamation point, and then it says he brought back his flu. We're gonna look this later, okay? But I want you to look at the number 3 right here, literally telling you, right? Your 3-strand DNA is being cleaned, okay? It shows you that your 3-strand DNA is being cleaned so much so that they put Andre, your DNA, right? And Ray DNA inside of the washer, being cleaned. You see? Stick with me, y'all, and we're gonna break it down using numerology, all right? Because everything is numbers. We are literal walking numbers. And if you know numbers, you can decode things. Now, to go even deeper, you see 3 washers here, right? He is specifically on top of this one, which is the white sun, if you look at it. And then you go over here, you see the black one, the black sun, which is the yin and the yang, right? So this is a flip, literal, a total flip. Because if you look at GQ, it looks like an 8, doesn't it? The G and the Q looks like an 8 together, because that's what the timeline about. Escaping the matrix. Escaping the matrix. So let's get to the numbers, y'all. So who is presenting this? We see GQ is the one that is presenting this. So we all know the 3D matrix is breaking down, and we're going to the 5th dimension, okay? Which is the heart chakra. So that would be the 4th chakra, 4. Now for the people who really know gematria and who've been following me, look what it also means in the Kabbalah, 42. Enough said. If you know about the number 42, nothing else needs to be said. You also have 4 plus 2 gives you 6. And since we are in the upside down, right, that gives you a 9. You flip that. So the 6 and the 9.
Man, this nigga talking some super outlandish bullshit.
In the black sun. So our DNA, our 3-strand DNA, is being cleansed by the white and the black sun. Because it's coming back. You see? Alright? Now to further prove my point, he is playing what's called a flute, okay? Now the word flute in numerology gives you 26. And guess what else gives you 26? Cleaning gives you 26. Cleaning gives you 26. And what is this? What is this, y'all? What is it doing? It's cleaning, isn't it? It's cleaning. Now this says out of order. Sorry. Okay, now back to Andre. Let's see what Andre represents. Andre gives me 17 in Chaldean. plus 7 is 8. Again, 8, breaking out the matrix, the time loop. Guess what else gives me 17? Heart, the heart of the earth, right? Also, again, because heart is an anagram for earth. Earth gives you 17, right? Which has to do with the heart chakra. Earth is an anagram for heart, y'all. Andre represents the heart of the earth. Now, no coincidence as to why we're witnessing to things like this.
Oh, shit.
Alright? As to why we're witnessing things like this. This is the earth speaking. This is the heart speaking. She is playing her flute. I told y'all, these are like angels, don't they? They look like angels, right? As to why we're experiencing things like this. Which is actually why the earthquake happened in Iceland. You see, you know, because we were in ice, right? We were in the tundra. Things like this.
Oh my God.
When have we ever been witnessing things like this, y'all?
Oh.
This is the earth speaking. This is the heart speaking. They want to tell you this is their technology. No, y'all. The earth is alive. She's coming back alive.
Whoa.
Hey, that's some powerful energy right there. If you know, you know.
Our DNA is cleansing.
Oh my God. If you can tell the camera.
Now, let's get a little deeper. Because if you look at the washer here, it says 22 and then 3. Now, 22 is actually 2 plus 2, and that gives you, again, 4, which is your heart chakra. 22 is also a master number. It is becoming the architect, the magnet. And then you have the 3 for the Holy Trinity. Meaning that the Holy Trinity is bringing out the mastery within you, the architect, the creator.
Play Diablo 4.
Now, the reason why that's important is because the 3 is on the right-hand side and the 22 is on the left-hand side. Now, we all know that the right-hand side feeds the left-hand side. Right over here, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this side feeds this side. So the feminine side feeds the masculine side because women feed men, not the other way around. So literally, the mother is feeding you. The mother is feeding you, which is literally the 3 sons. You have the 3 and the 22. Now, let's take it a little further. You have the K on this machine, right?
I gotta skip past this shit because Drummondtia just seems total fugazi bullshit.
If y'all know, but that right there is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it, though. Just think about it and pay attention to what's to come, i.e. these next clips. Watch this.
Now again, I had no idea about this. I didn't talk about this in previous videos because I never went back and read these books that I'd written. I just dictated them and then I was such a workaholic, I just kept on going with the rest of my life and doing all this other stuff. And I never even went back and read them. Totally amazed to find out this prophecy of a first wave of ascension, that it was going to happen by mid-2025. And there is going to be, as I just said, a full solar flash, but only after everybody's ready for it.
Think about it.
So some of us are going to be able to into that higher astral body and be ready for the full-blown fourth density right away after this first wave happens. So apparently there will be some people who become incredible superheroes right off the bat. And this could involve telekinesis, this could involve telepathy, this could involve shooting lightning out of your hands, of light out of your hands. All these kinds of interesting things appear to be some of the basic stuff. The ability to project thought forms, to project complex visual thought forms. And by location, projecting your own essence into your fourth density body. And that's what we're all going to have to learn how to do. And once we're all finished with that, then there is a full solar flash, because now everybody has walked into fourth density. And everybody's walked off the stage of the earth. There's no need to be there anymore. We've all learned how to activate our astral bodies. We go into this new layer of existence, and only then is there the full solar flash. Now, the Log One actually talks about all this stuff And they estimate in the books that it's going to take somewhere between 100 to 700 years before this happens. In the meantime, once we go through this first wave of ascension, we all get something that they describe extensively in Log 1. You can go look it up or read Michael Prophecies again, where they talk about the third, fourth activated body. What the hell is the third, fourth activated body? Third, fourth activated body means that you live in a human body, you still have your body, but you also have your fourth density body activated enough that now it can do things like poltergeist events. It might start causing telekinesis to occur, and at first you don't realize that you are causing it, but it's this other version of you that would be like a ghost that lives at the same time as you are living. So you're interconnected with this consciousness, and it can actually go and move things, your awareness. And so if you look at all the teachings of the classic ancient master yogis, they all talk about the importance of raising your consciousness, and eventually gets to the point where people are having lucid dreams, out-of-body experiences, and in the case of levitating saints, we talk about this in our new movie Levitation. I hope you'll see that coming up. Levitation is going to be incredible. We have all these great stars we're interviewing for this, insiders. So when we see what's possible, it's an amazing phenomenon.
They were telling us this whole time. Remember the movie 2012? It was released in 2009.
The heating up in our school. We suddenly act like microwaves.
Acting like microwaves. Do y'all understand what microwaves can do to you? Like, fuck with that.
As promised, no speech.
Split down the middle like a damn hot dog. That's what I wanted to say, but look, I don't want to scare some of y'all, but that's crazy. But I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. Just joking. Just joking. You're not gonna split down the middle. We might just split down the back. Think about it, y'all. Crazy. Watch it.
Of the video, he shows a CD or a disc. He immediately draws the geometric shape of an oblate spheroid. We can see how he separates the oblate spheroid with a disc that has a hole in the center. Then, below, he draws a circle and immediately paints it completely black. From this black circle, rays come out and 3 rays pass through the hole in the center.
At the bottom, that's the black sun.
Below, he writes, still. One of the possible meanings of this black circle may be the black sun. He draws reliefs on the edge of the hole and writes North Pole. And above this hole, inside what would be the celestial vault, he draws a star, the polar star or Polaris. He marks 2 points and connects them in a circle and writes equator. He draws 2 lines that go down from the polar star to the 2 points. The lines form a triangle. He highlights 2 of the rays coming out of the black sun and also forms a triangle, but vice versa.
Forget it.
And he writes, as above, so below. It's one of the 7 principles of Hermes Trismegistus. It appears on the Emerald Tablet and then in the Kybalion. He erases the intersections and draws the sun and moon. And he makes a gesture of rotation. He draws 2 arrows to show the distance of the moon and the sun. Both are 3,300 miles or 5,310 kilometers away. Then he measures the diameter of the sun and moon, being the same with the diameter of 32 miles or 51 kilometers. He draws continents on the surface and on the other side as well. He points both sides and writes, saying, below he writes Summerland. He draws rays coming out of the black sun and writes Northern Lights. The center of the drawing is equal to the Mason symbol, which is a square in a compass. He points out the ray coming out of the black sun toward the moon, and then he erases the face of the moon. He makes signs explaining that the sun doesn't light up the moon. Who does it is the black sun.
Hey, look, we knew the moon was up there doing some unmoonly shit. Like, it's getting help from something. You feel me? Like, look, other stuff that we was talking, I don't believe that at all. You feel me? It just never made sense to me. Like, me, I'm doing those people. I question everything. Might not be outwardly all the time. I was just keeping it to myself coming up because I just knew it was bullshit. That's why I never liked school like that. I was just at school to get some, take some sugar walls and to, you know, just get good enough grades so my parents didn't go to jail. Like, that's all I did. But I had no interest in it. I knew I wasn't good plan. I was going to become a doctor, but, you know, if everything else failed, I would just go ahead and get it out of the way. That's something that, you know, you can survive on and stuff. That's what I was on mentally at the time. But I got there. But yeah, is the math for y'all? All right, bet. Let me know in the comments down below.
Listen to what this 102-year-old lady said.
Today, 102. 102. So you were born in 1918. 1918. And we were just talking, and I asked you what shape the Earth is, and what did you say? What were you taught in school when in elementary school? In school that the Earth was flat.
And what do you do for a living?
I jump out of planes, skydive for a living.
When you jump out the plane, how high is the plane in the air?
17,000 feet.
So from 17,000 feet in the air, when you jump out, do you see the curvature of the Earth, or does it look flat?
You do not see the curvature of the Earth. All you see is just everything that you can pretty much see for 100 miles or so.
Oh man, we've got to get all these medieval ideas out of your head. Clear the way for new ideas. Knowledge of man's fabulous discovery.
あれはゴジラ
In the century
You gotta think though, like, you know, you've been indoctrinated to think one thing, so sometimes it's hard to believe, like, you know, that matrix syndrome that I call it the matrix syndrome. Like when you're trying to break away from the matrix and then it seems like the agent is still trying to keep you there, like, hey nigga, where you going? You know, you gotta keep thinking that this shit is you know what I'm saying, circle, but you know, at the same time when you start to really see it for what it is and why they say we can't go back to the moon all of a sudden, but we had the technology a long time ago. You feel me? Like, it's just, the math just don't be mathing people. So, you know, this is just something to look at. I'm not saying believe this stuff. Do what you want to do, but I know it makes sense to me. But you see how easy it is to indoctrinate somebody to get them away from, you know, the truth. They taught this stuff when you were at school, you know, and your parents didn't know everything that they was teaching you. See, they were taught something, and then they was taught something else. It's easy to hide the truth, in, you know, in these school systems. That's why it's treated like a jail, and, you know, got you in these small cubicles and small little desks, and they make you learn this information that's not true on purpose so they can get you in the rat race, get you not thinking for yourselves and depending on them, and, you know, you think that is like what life is supposed to be, but whatever.
Nationally kept secrets would shatter most people's imagination of what is possible.
This is probably one of the more well-known black-budget time travel projects, with the exception of the Montauk Project. Many whistleblowers have said that the program was not actually shut down, but just classified into deep black.
The people that know everything about Looking Glass, that have gotten all the reports and all the information, the elites of the world, probably figured out that that was the end of the game. And nothing could be manipulated beyond that point.
According to the alleged insiders, the Looking Glass technology was apparently used to look backward and forward in time, using the consciousness of an operator as a type of steering mechanism. The operator would sit in a chair that was apparently recovered from a downed extraterrestrial craft, capable of interfacing with consciousness directly. When the device was turned on, strong toroidal fields of energy cycled about a pouch of water at the center, which acted as a sort of resonator for in-streaming energies from the point of focus maintained by the operator. The data was collected and projected onto video monitors at incredible speeds, which later needed to be deinterlaced to reveal discernible images. What's interesting is that the biases of the operator would have a direct effect on the images collected. For example, if one were to look back to the time of Jesus' crucifixion, if the person doing so is an atheist, they may not see anything at all. But if the person was a Christian, they may see the infamous crucifixion event. This is suggestive of a time-space mechanic in the universe, wherein the human mind is able to navigate through time itself. The work of Dewey B. Larson and his reciprocal systems theory provides the basis for this interpretation. Briefly, as described by Larson, the universe is broken up into two physical regions, as defined by motion. Below the speed of light, motion operates in 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. Above the speed of light, motion operates in 1 dimension of space and 3 dimensions of time. As bizarre as that sounds, the mind is uniquely equipped to navigate in time, which is able to access memories of the past, gain awareness of events in the present, conceive of future possibilities, and even imagine alternative events that did not actually happen. In other words, the human mind can select the point of focus, just like in remote viewing, and receive the information from the store of memories made during the experience.
Do you know the difference between Looking Glass and the yellow cube?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of what happened to the yellow cube and how it was used and so on?
I believe that the yellow cube still exists. I can't say for certain if it's on this planet, but I would say that it's definitely protected from use at this point.
Okay, well that coincides with the testimony we got.
The yellow cube or the yellow book would give you your possible future.
Yes.
So it took basically the choices that you would inherently make along a timeline and tell you what that timeline would be, given that you made all the choices that your brain would make.
Well, this is exactly what I was just going to ask you. What we were told is that leaders of governments and so on, people in high places, politically, would use this to try to see their most optimum future and then follow those. So they were using it to enhance their wealth, et cetera, in a very egotistical way. And that was part of the problem with it.
The Looking Glass device seems to be capable of the same type of process. To access a data stream from any conceivable location in space or time, steered via the consciousness of an operator. According to the testimony of Burish, the technology was provided to the human race during the Sumerian times, when an advanced contingent of future humans went back in time and provided that civilization assistance after a cataclysm known as the Deluge. The Sumerian cylinder seals were encoded with plans to build the Looking Glass device. Earlier versions of the project saw the development of an actual portal that an individual could move through to jump in time. According to Burish, accounts provided by captured beings known in the program as P-45s, future humans 45,000 years into the future, the Earth was destroyed by massive cataclysms around the year 2012. This is apparently because Looking Glass devices were actively being used during a major celestial alignment, which overloaded the organic energy grid of the planet. Burish further claims that the device has been dismantled as a result of discovering two probable timelines, one of which is the cataclysm described by the captured being. An attempt was made to look into the future, but no concrete data was able to be received past the infamous date of December 21st, 2012, suggesting that this date is a
back at that 2012 again, huh? Crazy, right?
Nexus point in time, whereby either timeline 1 or timeline 2 would gain momentum. In the last report, Burish suggested that timeline 1, the positive timeline, had an over 80% likelihood of coming to fruition. Given that we are nearly a decade beyond the 2012 date, and no major cataclysms have occurred, we are most likely well entrenched within the positive timeline. This is undoubtedly one of the more intriguing topics in Awakening Times, which seems...
I ain't gonna hold y'all. Y'all know I'm for that positive timeline thing for sure. You know, the other option wasn't a damn option. You feel me? Like, not for that, you know?
Oh, folks, if you're one of these people who's been waiting for our best deal of the year, now would be that time. It's our Black Friday 50% off.
And like, if we want to go out, just imagine, bro. Like, I don't want to get swept away by no wave. I'm cool on all of that. I'm good on the ground, eating my ass. Like, I don't... Hold on, pause. The ground... You can't just say ground swallow me. Me falling into the ground squishing me. You know, I ain't for none of that. You know, volcanoes and landslides. I'm good, bro. I can pass on that. So hopefully, you know, we on that good path for sure. I think we've been doing good with navigating around all the bullshit lately, though. You know what I'm saying? That's why we congregate on this channel. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button. Let's keep getting it. Put comments down below, though.
Seems to be well hidden in popular works of fiction. Corey Good, a secret space program insider, claims to have reviewed documentation relating to this project.
It would be very hard to accept that all of this information that is currently held secret and classified.
Damn, Nat tried to violate me. Try to fly my nostril.
Icky. I smell something. Getting fishy. Why is this page gone? TikTok, what is this page?
Right.
Oh, I don't know. I was just trying to read the article about 2023 trafficking in persons report from Israel and West Bank, Gaza. There's nothing big or major.
So that clip, see, they were trying to figure out what's the possible futures, what we talked about before, but ultimately, you know, they stopped it because it was only so much that you could do. It was always this incident, this event that was going to happen, but you know, that's why I asked that question. which timeline do y'all think we're in? I'm in a positive one, man. Till we see a wave sweep across this bitch, we good.
Trying to read or anything like that. And what's totally wild to me is y'all are having conferences over there that you're not telling America about, where you guys are literally collecting organs and putting them into soldiers. But they're not the organs of your people, they're organs of the freaking Palestinian people. Like, wow. And then if you go reading back all the way to like 2009, where Israel was literally caught harvesting people's organs from people who had already unalived, and specifically, once again, the Palestinian people, that's nuts. And then you put in perspective that the United States is Israel, and we have this problem too. We got this organ traffic problem over here. We got this trafficking of kids problem over here, and it's really cool if you got the same problem in the same fucking country across the world. And then over here in the United States, we had oil spills, tornadoes, freaking floods, fires, freaking, what else? Missing ammonium nitrate. Hey guys, somebody just broke in and stole 400 tons from ES, and then, what was it, 400 pounds of explosives? Y'all got a lot of weird fishy going on with humans that we can't find after the fact. And now you're looking me in my face and telling me that we're having a war about land right now, about the same land that was given to the Rothschilds by the Church of England. Ironically, we're fighting over that place because people were displaced from another place, but we only talk about one group of people displaced from that place. Back to Israel. Israel, you're doing a lot of shady shit for y'all not to even be the true Israelis. You're doing a lot. And U.S. media, you're doing even fucking more, okay? Because there's no reason that this article should be missing. There's absolutely none. Unless it wasn't a war about religion or land, and it was actually true just a war, I don't know, to get rid of you. Now I have to think that concentration camp in Palestine, where 50% of them are children. Wow, okay, well, if you had literally a fishbowl where you were creating, I don't know, you were breeding people, and
Yeah, think about this. Listen to it real closely.
were just using them because there were no international laws to protect them, that would be crazy. And now you got to cover up all your tracks by creating a war. We all agree this war ain't, this ain't a normal war. This whole war has been shit. But you got propaganda, you got fake buildings, you got reporters out there lying. I'm gonna be honest with you, some of these videos of these parents and these children crying, I don't mean to be insensitive, but I'm gonna tell you, I've seen a crisis after a day or two before in my life, and some of them is pain. Okay? But yeah, Israel, we gonna look into your harvesting problem of organs. I find it intriguing.
This is a time that everyone needs to be aware that everybody needs to know the truth. There's a reason they're censoring everything, because they don't want you to know the truth. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to put words in your mouth. I'm not here to put thoughts in your head. I'm only here to show you what you can see with your own eyes, and then let you decide what truth is.
That's the machine right there that they use to, you know, do all the tunnels and stuff like that, you know. But a lot of these tunnels been here before they started doing this again. But you gotta think, they moved all the food, all the other stuff down there, and they've been planning for an event that they seen in the Looking Glass. So it's probably more than likely they're planning for both of the events and to take advantage of both. That's just my thoughts. Let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments down below. Let's keep going.
Raven Rock to me, like what it is, what it's for. No.
Raven Rock, like Area 51, remains one of the U.S. government's most classified installations. It's all part of a plan that was hatched 70 years ago.
In the 1950s, the government came up with plans for a deep underground command center where the president and, a few hundred staff members not only could take shelter, but also could direct a nuclear war.
The plan is called Continuity of Government, or COG.
At any moment, we could see thousands of members of the government completely wiped out, but there's a secondary government, a shadow government that is ready to take over at a moment's notice.
Raven Rock is an underground backup Pentagon.
It's the most unbelievable place you can imagine. You're 768 feet below the surface.
Don Campbell spent 3.5 years at Raven Rock as part of the president's communication team. He's never spoken on camera before about his time working in the secret bunker.
Basically, they carved out a city underground that could survive a direct hit from a nuclear blast. After you go through the security, you walk in and it's basically an underground tunnel. There's a blast door that was 3.5 foot thick that weighed 30 tons. You go through like an airlock, and they have 2 of those doors, and then you walk another half a mile.
A half mile deeper into the mountain is the bunker itself.
And you're going past 5 buildings. Those represent the 5 rings of the Pentagon. And each of those buildings are 3 stories tall, and they probably have 50 to 80 offices per floor.
The Dulce subterranean base. This 7-story compound is said to be the site of horrific genetic experimentation on human-alien hybrids and cutting-edge technologies beyond imagination. Level 1 serves as both the security checkpoint and communications office, where government personnel manage access and interact with potential extraterrestrial contacts. At Level 2, sprawling living quarters provide shelter solely for human personnel. Level 3 of the underground facility contains executive offices and alien science labs, where enigmatic experiments challenge the boundaries of human understanding of extraterrestrial technology. On Level 4, disturbing mind control experiments are allegedly conducted, delving into the dark realms of manipulating consciousness and human behavior within.
What's the difference between these 2 identical cups of coffee? Everything. Ev.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing this morning?
The shadowy depths. Level 5 is said to house alien living
I'm gonna do a
Several
pull back in a
extraterrestrial
second.
species coexist within the space of the underground base. At level
Take a little
6,
break.
disturbing
Just trying to
genetic
get the skin
experiments are
filled in. There's not a lot of skin on this
delving
piece,
into the boundaries of
so
biological manipulation.
we're almost there.
At level 7, rumors speak of cryogenic storage chambers where chilling mysteries lie frozen.
What? Like frozen?
Advanced network of tunnel systems, which are basically underground alien bases that are controlled by Luciferian technicians and Draconians. But what you gotta understand is that these underground facilities work in synergy with the 269 Walmarts that got closed down because they're basically gateways that lead to the Denver airport. So when you have a pole shift, there's mass calamity on the surface of the planet where the governmental elite, the oligarchs and aristocracy gotta hide in these tunnel systems in order to escape judgment. Now, these underground alien bases are basically station points for many different malevolent extraterrestrial species that come to this planet for experimentation and for extermination when you're talking about eugenics and depopulation. Now, what you also got to understand is Book of Daniel, and you take out all the vowels and you translate it in ancient Hebrew and you read it backwards. It tells you that there's an intergalactic gateway inside the planet that leads you to a subterranean.
Wait a minute. Why you gotta read it backwards though? I understand ancient Hebrew. They had little vowels or different sounds and more consonants or something, because the letters were just different, so the language was different, and I get it. Different phonetic sounds. Why you gotta read the shit backwards though? Motherfucker just be adding extra shit. You gotta, if you take out all the vowels and read it in the ancient Hebrew and then read it backwards, like, oh, you lost me right there. you had me with you for a second. I gotta read it backwards. Is this like some Leonard Skinner album, or is this like some goddamn Beatles album or something they tell you to listen to backwards? It's crazy.
You know, when you're talking about Hollow Earth and the city of Shofar, many different ley lines on the planet, many of them, they're basically energy centers because they contain concentric interstellar vortex portals that basically take you to the moon, because the Draconians built the moon as a Draconian mothership on planet Jupiter. Looking at as many different maps that basically coincide with the underground tunnels.
Yes, every 40 seconds a child goes missing. I know y'all don't know me, but I've been on this conscious journey for a while. I've been seeking information for so long. This is what I posted on my Instagram just 41 weeks ago. But as you can see, Look at the U.S. trafficking hotspots up in Honey, and look at where the underground tunnels be, snatching their asses up, going straight on the bottom of the ground. Like, that is just crazy, right? Not a coincidence either.
Think about it. I mean, the map just be mapping sometimes. It just be set up like that. I ain't saying it is what it look like, but it look like what it is, right? Like, shit.
Illegal underground bunker was just found in Yakima, Washington, while searching for missing 5-year-old Lucian Munguia. Lucian disappeared from Sarge Harper Park on September 10th of this year, and if you need more information about this, go look at my previous video about him down below. Lucian's family received a tip that he was being held in an underground bunker somewhere near the park. And when his dad Juan and other searchers investigated that tip, it led them to this bunker between Keys Road and the Yakima River on a remote lot that's property of Yakima County. The area had previously been searched multiple times, but the entrance to the bunker was hidden beneath heavy layers of dirt and tree branches, making it really hard to find. The bunker is 6 feet deep, includes multiple rooms, a propane hookup, and a heater. It's extremely creepy. According to Juan, they found nooses, weapons, scuba suits with holes cut out of the private areas, and a bunch of masks.
What?
So they took a bunch of photos and notified the Yakima Police Department. But even though the tip proved somewhat accurate, there was just no sign of Lucian there at all. This is the third illegal underground bunker found in Yakima this year, and they're all allegedly built by the same man, who's 61 years old and has been homeless in the area for years. This man was arrested in 2018 after police discovered another bunker of his in the Yakima Sportsman State Park. He pleaded guilty to second-degree malicious mischief and was sentenced to 90 days in jail, which is the max for that crime. According to court documents, this man has multiple previous convictions dating back to the 1980s, such as
show a
assault
picture of him
and
so we know what this
conduct.
creep looks like.
This is extremely concerning considering he's choosing parks where little kids play at to build these underground bunkers on. And while there isn't any connection to Lucian yet, this should still be a PSA. Authorities are saying there really isn't much they can do besides issue an eviction and clean up the area, so beware. Lucian's family is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to Lucian's safe return. It's coming up on 2 months now, and we really need to find Lucian. If you have any information regarding his disappearance, please call the Yakima Police Department at 509-575-6200.
And if you notice too, is what the crazy part is like, bro, these people out here that sell a rock to a person that they know what it is and they want to pay for it and they want to get high and destroy their lives. Something can happen to a child and stuff like that, and it don't seem like when these children get abused or hurt or touched or something like that, like the consequences don't seem extreme. They should be extreme. Consequences should be very extreme. It's like people get more like is it something that's not being said out here? I don't know. Are we gonna get into that in this video? We gonna see. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments down below. It ain't the same energy for these children. Just like the children, that's missing all over the world, and then you remember the clip of Donald Trump calling out Hillary for her taking the Haitian kids and stuff like that. But into them, like, that's why they're terrified of him. That's why they want to destroy him in the public in front of everybody, like the way they're doing. Like, it's crazy. But look, we're gonna continue in this video. It is what it is, but it look like what it is sometimes.
There are bunkers everywhere in this country.
Nevertheless, their objective remains the total conquest
I'm currently inside of the largest bunker in all of Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Look, these things is all over the
All right,
world.
so we got this skin tone done.
30,000 square meters of space, which is 300,000 square feet for those imperial people out there like me. I think he likes me.
That love you feel for your family makes you weak. That's what makes me strong. Come on!
think I'm gonna reshape her arm a little bit. I don't think the proportions are exactly right.
I'm hanging out with Eric, who currently owns the bunker.
This is where the crew sleep in the showers. Showering 85 meters of rock above you.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of the deepest showers in the world. He's been showing me giant cannons and the sleeping quarters and the hospital and the giant generators that have provided electricity for this place. From the
Why would you need that?
outside, this thing does not look big at all. Wow. Look at that. That is amazing. A reminder that every time you see a little door in the forest that goes into a bunker, it's probably a massive network of tunnels. 2 meters of concrete here at the entrance. You go inside of the store and you are led into a labyrinth of tunnels and weaponry.
8 kilometers of walkways.
8. Oh, and with the most gnarly doors you've ever seen in your life. They're quadruple fortified with huge slabs of concrete.
This is like 2 meters of concrete. You sit behind there with a rifle and they will protect the entrances.
No one is getting into this bunker anytime soon. I went to Switzerland to hunt for bunkers, fortresses drilled impossibly deep into mountains and cliffs and villages, hidden from view but packing deadly power. Wow. I've seen so many bunkers. You don't have to look super hard to find them. They're everywhere. But there's a bunker right here. Look at this.
So they have a treaty in Antarctica, that they not gonna, blow the whole earth up and shit. It's the reason why they can work together, but then they can also in war with each other in front of the world. Basically a distraction, or is it really going on the way that you think it's going on? But you never know what's really going on. I'm speaking like this today for a reason. Put the comments down below if you're tracking. But it is what it is. Why would you have to have these bunkers and all these weapons and all the food and stuff? What are you getting prepared for? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do, the babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight. We are the first species.
The babies we eat.
I ain't never gonna get old right there.
So it's made from human foreskin.
Now I gotta amputate my hand and shit. You know what I'm saying? With a knife. Give me a butter. I don't care. You got a butter knife? Alright, cool. I'm with it. My hand gotta go.
What up? Alright, we got a little bit done. I'm gonna jump into back into the grays and blues
right here,
and try to block in her clothing items, her headband, and her jacket, her lab coat that she's wearing. And then this piece would be the underpainting is done. And so the next question is, do I start a new canvas, or do I put this on the easel and go back to working on that? I might start a new canvas so I can have 3 paintings in rotation right now.
Where's the real Earth?
And then, now the question is, so what's the next painting? What will the next painting be?
In fact, I'm going to show you right now.
So I'm going to try to figure that out. After I finish this session, I'll figure out like what's the next image, and then I'll decide if I'm going to prep a canvas or if I'm going to go back to working on that.
They've been sending these up one at a time since it all began. I will allow them to explain it.
also the genesis for NASA's newly developed super pressure balloon.
Super pressure balloon.
The reason for super pressure balloon is they have absolutely stable altitude, day and night. And it doesn't matter how cold the atmosphere is. They are sealed.
So your shape is always the same. You always displace the same amount of air, and therefore you have the same amount of buoyancy all the time.
NASA's been using balloons for science research for over 30 years. The exploration that can be done on balloons is continuing to grow. The standard balloon that I fly is about 660 feet long when it's made.
So let me get this straight. It is now public knowledge that they send up satellites on massive helium-filled balloons. As you should know, NASA is the largest consumer of helium in the world, for obvious reasons. But the issue with society is that they never critically think. Just think for a second here. If these are sent up to provide the world with all of the important information we need, and I'm sure the entire process is expensive and difficult to accomplish, then please explain to me what in the flat world do these pathetic animations do for you? Do they make you happy inside? Are they so super duper cool that you cannot see past the obvious CGI? The fact of the matter is everything NASA sends up on a balloon simply hovers above our motionless Earth. That is why they rarely speak about orbiting satellites, and of course, they never show footage. Here is some footage of a random evening with a man, the moon, and his Nikon P900. Notice anything floating up there?
Hey, motherfucker out there look like Santa Claus, don't they? That's where Santa Claus came from. That's where the story came from. Like that.
Forget it, Bart. It's so bright out you can't see anything in the sky except the Fox satellite.
Then every now and then these satellites come crashing down. They fall out of the sky with those helium balloons attached to them all over the world. But you don't hear about it because you likely get your information from mainstream media.
Now is the best time to become a Daily Wire member. You can get 50% off the Daily Wire annual memberships right now through...
Why that's a bad idea. The same people that own the news are the same people that are perpetuating this hoax, all right? If you want the truth, you gotta find it yourself.
For you. Because how? How did I get back up? Now listen, I gotta go down the rabbit hole because I done found out some more stuff that I got a question about. I know I ain't had no more questions, but I got real quick.
It's like that sometimes.
That's supposed to be Neil foot, but this the bottom of the shoe. I ain't no rocket scientist, but hold on, let's look again. Bottom of the shoe again? Footprint there. So child, that ain't even what got me. Let me tell y'all what got me. When this asks why the footprint on the bottom of the spacesuit that's on display is different than the footprint that's on the darn moon, they say, oh, that's it. Because they had so many moon rocks they had to bring back that Neil decided to take his shoes off and leave them to compensate for the weight. That's kind of a good doggone way. These astronauts that went on to the moon and LA didn't have no home training, took their shoes off and left. In the spacesuit, 11 layers thick, they weigh 180 pounds on Earth and 30 pounds on the moon. How you get boots off you? How you get them off? Did you do like a little heel toe? Because I know you ain't been over it.
Those old moon videos still make people question.
After you had on, you took your boots off.
Still make people question.
Or maybe he threw them out the window when they were pulling off track. Now listen, apparently while all of this was going down on the moon, Michael Collins was orbiting the moon for 21 hours, about 60 miles away from the surface of the moon. And apparently when he got on the dark side of the moon, none of the communication worked. So honey, by the grace of God, Buzz and Neil got back on in the Eagle and did a little... So they mosey on about 60 miles and they run into the... That's the other part of the ship. Right? And I guess they connected like the Autobots. And then Michael drove them on home track. I don't know, friends. Maybe put that thing in fifth gear was like, wah, wah. And then once they got to Earth's atmosphere, they had to turn around and bet that thing so that the heat shield can prevent them being burned up because they was entering the Earth's atmosphere at 24,000 miles an hour. But don't worry, they had parachutes that stopped them before they hit the ocean. And they landed fast. Put out a beacon, and then the ships came, and there you have it. Then I want to know, after that, what happened to the darn Eagle? You know, the other part of the space. Child, they say the Eagle is still in orbit around the moon. Now, I'm just going to let y'all know, and I don't want y'all to get jealous, and don't go tell nobody, because I know if it get back to me, y'all the ones that told, because I'm the only one that told y'all. I got a Samsung Galaxy. Don't get mad, I will put y'all on my plan, but I don't know if you're going to pay your part of the bill. But I'm saying that because I done zoomed in on the moon plenty of times, and I ain't seen no spaceship floating around the moon. Now, they done left furniture, cameras, shoes apparently, a flag, And they say about 400,000 pounds of trash material from us. I ain't seen none. Now, friends, look, I don't know if they would or not. I'm not an astronaut. I was going to be an astronaut, but I decided to let them have that. I didn't want to steal it. If I could convince you that you are here by chance, and that you just happen to explode from outer space into this Goldilocks zone, then I can convince you that you are nothing, right? But if you knew that you were here on purpose and your life had so much meaning, then you probably wouldn't let people control you, right? Because outside of them, there is a higher power that put us here, and I don't think he designed it for us to leave.
Terminator is the prequels to the beginning of the Matrix. Sarah Connor is actually Neo's mother. So JC, John Connor's Jesus Christ, goes up to being Neo, one and the same in the Matrix. The Matrix is in the future. The Terminator is the past. It's time travel, past, present, and future time travel. It's the second coming of the Christ, the evolutions of consciousness, man versus the machine. So the machines, the Terminator machines, here the child is going to be born that's going to terminate them in the future when they oppress man. Because see, it's a man versus the machine. God's children versus man's children, which was technology.
So man versus nature.
Exactly. So the Terminator has to time travel to the past, but they know it's Sarah Connor. And they have to kill her, terminate her, so she won't have the baby. And Kyle Reese, he comes from the future to protect her, and he inadvertently gets her pregnant. And he has to go back to the future. And so it's the Immaculate Conception, because now she's pregnant, and she fell in love with a man, but did it really happen? Did he exist? And then this child, when you see the three Terminators, the boy, and then the man child, subconsciously he doesn't know why the Terminator is trying to kill him until he's hidden out in the city, in the Matrix, the future. When he reaches 30 years of age, the rebellion, the Reloaded, revolution starts. And the rebels come and they find him because they've been watching him all along. That's what the Guardians and the Sentinels are all about. And so they wake him up to his purpose. They take him to Morpheus to train him to fight the machines. They take him to the Oracle because of the prophecy. So this is the whole epic story. It's an epic.
Because this plays into
why
this sudden mental change from Facebook. Where is Facebook now a threat where they need to regulate them and shut them down?
Facebook is something but a that's all it is. It has all of your family's pictures, all of your friends. It has all the information. They use it here.
Like an Ancestry.com. I'm telling you, like that's just crazy, right?
In Vegas, when they had that car accident, remember when the Maserati right by the Cromwell, when that happened right there? Well, all they did was take camera footage from Caesars, Bally's, and other casinos. And they went and they took this footage and they got the license plates, and then they saw that the guy did, California, he rented that Range Rover, and after they did that, they went to social network and they found his girlfriend on Twitter, so they found his picture, and then they went to LA, because they knew they were from LA, put his picture on a $250,000 billboard, and put a reward up for him for $25,000, and they got him within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, because of the technology.
So how do you advise people to share the image,
Well,
the
there's not going to be any more privacy. Everything is camera down. Everything is caught on camera. And this is what it's going to be about in the future. Virtual reality that I'm explaining in the Matrix and Terminator. Everything is going to be, so now it's going to be so easy. You're not going to have any more paper passports. It's just going to be where you come into the airport, they're going to scan you, your body, retinal, fingerprints, the whole 9 yards.
This is what clears about it.
That's right. And this way, nobody has to alter paper and put a picture or a name on there. Because they have your bone structure, they have your eyes, they have your fingerprints. This is the database, and they match you up. You see what I'm saying? And you go through. So that way no terrorists can come through and pretend to be somebody or somebody that they're looking for that's the most wanted. You see what I'm saying? Because all this technology is going to start ruling. It's artificial intelligence is going to start ruling everything. Once the satellites come into play that I'm talking about, there's maybe another 5 to 10 years from now, they're really going to play a phenomenal part. Because this is why Apple and Microsoft became the billion-dollar, trillion-dollar babies, is because IBM and Xerox didn't know what a mouse was. A mouse meaning they didn't know what the internet was going to be. You see what I'm talking about? They didn't want to move into that technology. The studios don't know what streaming is. They got pissed off because Netflix paid $50 million and got 3 or 4 Oscars for the movie Roma. But it was never shown in the movie theater at all. It was one.
That's why Steven Spielberg and all of, you know, when we come back,
yeah.
I'm going to have some of my crew to join me, my technical people. You know, we mentioned when you were coming on, your lawsuits and the battles you've had to fight, and you've just won in Utah.
Yes.
But it's always a battle for you.
Well, the reason why it's always a battle for me is because the government refuses to protect my copyrights. You know, I own the copyrights to all the derivative movies, both franchises I own. It was adjudicated in Utah, September the 25th,
And look, most of us did not know this was going on. For most people's like, a lot of people's favorite movies like Matrix and stuff like that, Terminator. Come on now. We all here on this channel, look, I know we watched it. If anybody watched it, we watched it. Okay? Crazy that this would even happen, but it's not. What's even more daunting about it is that seeing this at the highest level, now they want to scam people and be able to use you, like your AI version of you, for like movies and stuff. Like, you see what they're trying to do? They're trying to X us out of completely. These people are trying to run up the money and keep you oppressed. It don't matter about skin color, your background, none of that. It's a few people that's doing this to the whole. And how do we let this happen? We need to, for sure.
14. So why am I still with a RICO case here in Nevada, which I just won, but they're still trying to fix it so they can continue to use the stolen money, which is untraceable, and it's all related to Hillary Clinton's foundation and money laundering.
Do you consider yourself politically neutral?
I consider myself totally neutral. All I'm worried about is for the people. Right. Because if the government doesn't protect my copyrights, he doesn't protect yours.
But the government is afraid of you. I'd be afraid of you.
Well, there's no need to be afraid of me because I like stand for principles.
But what you know and the knowledge you share, what you have insights to, can be very dangerous to some people.
Yes, but my job is to come here and awaken people. That's what the Matrix is about, to wake you up from the Matrix, to get you out of the illusions and the lies and the ignorance.
Right.
So it's not dangerous for me because that's my job. That's what I came here to do. That's why I wrote The Matrix and Terminator, to wake people up so they can move on. To greater, better things.
Yeah, but a lot of these movie houses and studios and Facebooks of the world don't want people to know what happens to them every day when they share their information.
But that's destroying their free will.
But
God doesn't want that.
But people want to be ignorant. They don't want to know that they're being exploited. It requires too much responsibility when they find out.
Well, that's what the blue pill and the red pill is about. The red pill is about the blood of the living being. The black and the blue is the machine. But this is the healing world. We are the winners. They are the losers. So people need to exert their free will regardless of what anybody wants.
So what are the unintended consequences of all this that we're talking about?
Their people's consciousness will shift and they will go on to create and do better things. They won't be in bondage. And this is the whole purpose of the Matrix and Terminator and the new work that's coming, Matrix 4. The Matrix 4 book is out. It's been selling for 9 years, since 2010, around the entire globe. People have to wake up and shift their consciousness so they can create, so they can build. Because you can't stay in the past. Everything must change, right?
One of the things in 1 minute that we have to learn, if you don't remember anything else about the broadcast today, is this: you're not as free as you think you are. You're in bondage in more ways than you imagine, and it's a different kind of slavery, very dangerous kind of slavery at the mind, and how we concede ourselves to people without any thought, any challenge, and that's so well. Takes as much to maintain it as it takes to establish.
A man is always trying to take that challenge because man wants to be free. Well, everybody loved the Matrix and Terminator because it woke them up. They didn't even realize they were in the dream. They didn't realize they were in the dream. They didn't realize they were in the illusion. But now that they awaken, they will fight.
Will you fight? Are you awake? Are you ready to embrace your destiny? Because freedom comes from God, not from man. And the moment you realize that, you'll begin that journey of freedom. Thank you so much.
I want to say one thing. Like Morpheus said, I didn't tell you it was going to be easy.
But it will be fair if you fight it.
So, let's get the obvious stuff out of the way.
You're not human.
It's tough to get any more obvious than that.
If I had to guess, I'd say you were programmed from the machine. So is he.
So far, so good.
But if that's true, that could mean you were part of the system. Another kind of control.
Keep going.
I suppose the most obvious question is, how can I trust you?
Bingo. Because it's a people, no doubt about it. And since there's no way you can really know whether I'm really loved or not. So it's really up to you. Just have to make up your own damn mind. You can accept what I'm going to tell or reject it. Okay?
You already know if I'm going to take it.
Then you want to know about it.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make a choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it. I want you to figure that out by now.
Why are you here?
Same reason. I love killing you.
But why help us?
We're all here to do what we're all here to do. I'm interested in one thing, Leo, the future. And believe me, I know the only way to get there is together.
Are there other programs like you?
Okay, not like me, but look, see those birds? At some point, the program was written to govern them. A program was written to watch over the trees and wind, sunrise and sunset. There are programs running all over the place. The ones doing their job, doing what they were meant to do, are invisible. You never even know they were here. But the other ones, you hear about them all the time.
I've been on the thing.
Of course you have. Every time you've heard someone say this is all a ghost story, and it ain't sure. Every story you've ever heard about vampires, werewolves, or aliens is the system assimilating some program.
Want to know what happens when you go down the conspiracy theory rabbit holes? You find out some stuff that's really grieving. They've had free electricity for over 100 years and haven't told people because they've suppressed it. The government has literally captured the patents so that other people can't reproduce it. It's that bad. Once you learn the political corruption, you start going, well, what else? It never ends. Like if you knew that there's medicine that doesn't have side effects that can actually heal you, you would no longer be a customer. If you knew that there's free electricity, you would no longer be a customer. If you knew that certain foods are poisoning you and causing you to get on the hamster wheel of needing medication that doesn't actually heal you, you would no longer be a customer. Everything is about sucking stuff out of you. You know the movie The Matrix where everybody's hooked up to the thing, bro? Like, I'm not trying to be crazy. I'm not trying to be crazy, bro, but it's kind of like that. Like, the more I look, it's everywhere, bro. Once you start to see the fence Conspiracy Friday or whatever today is.
And then the whole
on UFO, bro, when that shit start moving. And look, y'all see the chemtrails in the sky and shit, right? Bro, they're trying to
Play Diablo 4.
cover the sky up, yo. Cause look, last night my friend had sent me a video. Y'all gotta watch that. This is serious. Pay attention. There's some shit going on. Look, he just sent me this shit just down Miami.
That's it. It's right there.
This is what I just seen today, bro.
Right there.
Look, I zoomed in for y'all. He said everybody on the highway stopped and was taking pictures. Look at that shit. Yo, look. Wait, I was trying to focus on it. Wait. Yo, bro. Y'all see that shit?
Now, what we have seen in the past.
And then it could also be, like they said, in the war zones and stuff like this. I showed this clip right here before, but it's matching. The map is mapping. They keep spraying. Like, I know they sprayed here a lot today. And they start off with the X's, and then they also have the high-speed planes that you can't see. You can't even see the plane. It's just look like a line disappearing in the sky. I mean, have y'all been noticing a lot of those in y'all area lately? Let me know, and let me know where y'all from, like where y'all been seeing it at. This is how we communicate.
Ways Wilco-Pass has carried out attacks and captured the Israelis. Of course, perhaps one of the most viewers recognized the actually the Israeli soldier that was taken in a cross-border raid and brought into Gaza. They captured it in a location that very few Hamas people or militants knew about. And in fact, that's what complicated the negotiations. The cell that was responsible for taking him kept him on the move constantly. And so no group of people in thinking. Now,
and that was live. That was live.
There are extraterrestrial races upon us. Some of them work in TLS. Some of them I know of that work in TLS from different planets that exist today. Some of them look like human beings, some of them don't. And their purpose overall is to reach what you and I spoke about a different time called the Age of Life, which is a different era, a different awareness collectively. It's a collective awareness that will pretty much lead us to live in a completely different world, a world without borders, without walls. There's no separate anything. We're one. And beyond, there's no Americans and Chinese people. There's Earthlings, right? And beyond just that, we live in a universe. So for us to reach our collective destiny, collective doesn't just mean collective upon the human race. Collective destiny of the Age of Love means collective upon all life.
Remember that heart chakra video? Look, it all comes full circle, people.
And if we don't reach that, then even though the ETs are at a much higher level of awareness than we are, we will not collectively reach what we need to reach. So part of their, from my understanding, motivation for being here and for working on Earth today is to help us together reach our collective awareness of all life in the universe.
Where are they based, generally? Where are they all based, this TLS?
All over the world. You've got their offices in New York City. You just won't see TLS. You'll see covers. Everything's a cover. But they do have a major branch in every city. Every major city.
The Pyramid Code document, is it available to the general public?
Yes. So on September 9th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York time, I was instructed to release the document. It's on my website, jasonshirka.com. I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, there's 7 or 8 different languages that it's been translated into because people have been taking incredible initiatives to work together and come together. The reaction? Incredible. Don't get me wrong, there are those that maybe want to put me in a mental asylum. And really? Yeah, my family being one of them. Tell me about that. They just don't believe you?
Yeah.
Where's that guy?
Well, look
in that brown jacket.
Look, let me know how y'all feel about that video in the comments down below. Like, you gotta think. You know, that's why I think it's important for everybody to step inside, you know, and really pay attention to what's going on around them. Not to say that everything you see on these videos are true, but you have to look these things up for yourself. I don't want to force feed people, but with that being said, when we continue to raise our consciousness and our vibrations together, don't think about this as a competition with somebody else, you know, because you're going to find something for you, right? And you're going to tap into that person. Without even trying, things are going to come to you. You're going to become that magnet. You're going to be breaking that matrix. And the things that you attract and that you really want, you will start to understand how to control who you are and your destiny for you. Your path is going to be completely different than somebody else's. So, you know, we got to stop that comparing and, you know, boasting around. Like, nah, we are all powerful. And, you know, we're learning a little bit more and more every day in a way that's going to help us from, you know, this helps on so many different levels. Like the people that can't talk about aliens and stuff with your friend group that you're around, because they don't want to talk about that shit at all. They want to talk about turning up, going to the club, you know what I'm saying, spending all their money, going on trips that they can show on Instagram, and make it seem like they got more than what they have. We should be past that point of our lives, you know what I'm saying? Well, majority of us, if you're in your 20s, man, enjoy your time, have fun, you know. But I would say this, you know, for people more around my age, we got to be doing better, you know? Like, meeting up at your friends' houses to have drinks and stuff like this all the time. Now, we need to be focused on setting you and your family up for the future and what's to come, you know what I'm saying? But look, I said enough on this video. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tribe up, merch dropping soon, music dropping soon. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me and sharing these positive vibes. Let's spread these videos all over the internet. Let's continue our thing. And I appreciate y'all. Like I always say, spread love because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. See you in the next video. And I'm out though. Live.
Hey, attention everyone. I've been trying to catch the Pontiac Bandit for 8 years. You know how many months that is?
96.
46 years, months.
You're not very good at math. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh god. Okay,
my
no,
God.
it's in here. Oh, super sure.
I was gone for 30 seconds.
Dad! You don't have your friends Friday night, right? Oh, well, we didn't talk yet, but I don't... Yeah, I can go. Yeah, that...
I'm in Tiwanaku, Bolivia, where the Incas say mankind was created. Not far from here are the mysterious ruins of Pumapunku, which feature magnificent megalithic blocks. Today, most archaeologists believe that Pumapunku was part of an ancient temple complex, but they are baffled by the uniformly shaped and sharp-edged stone blocks found all over the site. They're also puzzled by an even bigger mystery. What type of structure did these blocks actually form? Could it be that the ruins of Pumapunku offer evidence of advanced extraterrestrial technology being used in the ancient past? For an ancient astronaut theorist, there are few sites on Earth more intriguing than this one. And that's why I'm here investigating the incredible mystery of Pumapunku. My name is Giorgio Tsoukalos. I explore the world that exists between reality and speculation, the known and the unknown. What we've been taught by mainstream scholars is not the whole picture. But I'm convinced that every day we are one step closer to the truth. mountains in the Altiplano Desert is Tiwanaku, one of the most rugged and desolate places on Earth. This region of Bolivia has seen its fair share of warfare, invasion, and turmoil over the years. But I'm here to see if it also experienced contact with extraterrestrials. In 1549, while searching for the capital of the Inca Empire, Pedro Cieza de Leon and his Spanish conquistadors discovered the ruins of what looked like a massive temple complex at what is now called Tiwanaku. Mainstream archaeologists suggest that these ruins were once the center of the Tiwanaku civilization, with approximately 40,000 inhabitants. But little is known about the people who lived here or the structures they left behind. Of special interest are the walls of this large, square-shaped courtyard, which features numerous carved stone faces that suggest those of extraterrestrial visitors. But located just a half a mile away from the Temple of Tiwanaku lie the ruins of what is thought to be yet another temple complex, the mysterious site known as Puma Punku, the Gateway of the Puma. The name was given by the local Aymara people who found artifacts at the site depicting imagery of warriors wearing masks made of puma skulls. But the Aymara have only inhabited the area for around 800 years, and Puma Punku is believed to have been built thousands of years ago. But what was it? A temple? A meeting place? Some elaborate monument? All of these possibilities have been suggested, but to this day, no one knows just what this place was, who built it, or exactly how old it really is. But what's even more intriguing is that the blocks here don't even look like those found at Tiwanaku. It is one of the places where logic no longer makes sense, because the blocks that we have here are unique on this entire planet. This is the only place. So check it out. Here are the awesome, awesome H blocks.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
They're made from solid blocks of precisely shaped andesite. Whenever I see them, it's just this feeling that you get at Puma Punku. I'm at a loss for words, because this here is something that can't be found anywhere else in the world. Mainstream archaeologists believe that these H blocks were created by hand with primitive stone and metal tools. Tools, I should mention, that they have never found examples of. But what's so very interesting is that they seem as if they are part of a larger picture. That if you put them together, they form a solid wall, which is very incredible. If another block was placed on top, or this was placed on top of another rock, these are features that make these two blocks fit together seamlessly. Because the one thing that we have to remind ourselves with this particular construction style, no mortar, no binding agent was ever used. These pieces are so perfect that they fit together interlockingly in such a way that you don't need anything with which to bind together the 2 or 3 or hundreds of pieces. Other examples of this type of precise interlocking stonework can be found in Cusco, at Sacsayhuaman, and even Machu Picchu. But nothing with the sophistication of this place right here. I mean, it's incredibly enigmatic. Everywhere I turn, I see more and more incredible blocks that can't be explained by mainstream scientists. This is pretty amazing. I mean, check this out. If you look at this groove right here, I mean, forget chicken bones. You simply cannot do this with primitive tools. And you've got these holes drilled at an equidistant, as if it's some type of a female piece to a male piece. So what was it that actually fit into this? Because one thing to me is crystal clear, that this here, or any of these pieces, they have nothing to do with any type of embellishments. I mean, this here, these look like technical components, part of a larger, almost industrial construction. I've got a little paper clip, ordinary paper clip that I've just unfurled to see how deep they go. If they actually go equidistant all the way down, I mean, that is something that cannot be achieved with chicken bones. As far as I'm concerned, these stone blocks have to have been cut with some type of advanced technology. But what? Back in 2012, I met up with machinist and toolmaker Chris Dunn at his workshop in Danville, Illinois, to put a Puma Punku stone sample through the ultimate...
Looks like the updates in death tinge, maybe? Okay. God, use the cursor to move to place does not convey its essence. Selected you. Oh, maybe that's from someone else. Send message, delete add squad.
How I can't invite you anymore. Have the mission to make a handheld meter.
Man, her name is Sandra. Her hit song was Maria Magdalena.
Across centuries, the House of Rothschild have wielded unprecedented dominance, blending familial solidarity and relentless profit-seeking. From modest roots, they rise to influence international finance, wars, and politics, and become the most formidable banking dynasty of their age. The Rothschild banking dynasty has an unlikely origin, an 18th century ghetto in Frankfurt, Germany. Like many of his time, Mayor Amschel Rothschild can't own land or farms due to his race. So, he follows his family's path and becomes a textile trader.
The ghetto was not very encouraging. Shops spilled heaps of second-hand clothes and soiled household goods into the alley. Frankfurt Jews are barred from farming, from handicrafts, even from dealing in nobler goods such as weapons, silk, or fresh fruit.
Mayor Rothschild quickly grows discontented with trading textiles and becomes eager to explore other ventures, ones that offer higher profit margins. He soon discovers that trading gold coins and antiques could be much more lucrative. Mayor Rothschild quickly establishes himself as a shrewd trader and uncovers a brilliant strategy known today as front-running.
He worked as a court agent, much like today's stockbrokers. His main client was Prince William of Hesse-Kassel. Whenever William wanted to purchase gold coins, he would ask Mayer Rothschild to obtain them from the market. What Rothschild did was this. He would first buy the coins using borrowed money, then sell them to Prince William, effectively acting as both the buyer and the seller. This practice is known as front-running in modern terms. In doing so, he profited twice, once from the 8% commission fee, and also from front-running Prince William.
By 1782, Mayer Rothschild has amassed a colossal fortune and earns the position as the investment manager for Prince William's vast wealth. But for Mayer Rothschild, it's just the beginning. To truly create a strong footing in the world of finance, he must evolve into a bank.
Often when traders and court agents accumulated significant wealth through their financial dealings, they sought greater recognition and respectability. Transitioning into banking was a way to gain legitimacy and credibility.
Getting into banking proves genius for Mayer. By the close of the 1700s, he's the richest man in Frankfurt. But still, for Mayer Rothschild, it isn't enough. He envisions a legacy beyond wealth, a family dynasty that stands the test of time, outlasting nations and empires.
To me, it's always what's next, and I think that's what drives most very successful people. It's never about the money. I mean, that's a way of keeping score. It's about achievement, and it's about winning a game, and it's about upping the ante.
To do that, he knows he needs to think bigger than just Frankfurt or even Prussia. To expand, he dispatches 4 of his 5 sons to the great capitals of Europe: Vienna, Naples, Paris, and the jewel of the empire, London. In the early 1800s, Great Britain stands as a global superpower with a vast empire across continents. With the British Royal Navy unmatched, the seas are theirs. The Industrial Revolution is transforming the economy, making Britain an industrial and manufacturing powerhouse. The financial sector, centered in London, is robust. With the establishment of the Bank of England in 1694, London becomes a global financial center. Mayer Rothschild has built a thriving banking business in Frankfurt, but he realizes to sustain the long-term prosperity of the family, he needs to expand to different major cities in Europe, including sending his 3rd son to London, England. His name is Nathan Rothschild. For Nathan Rothschild, the pressure is immense. He feels compelled to demonstrate to his father that he is equally capable of upholding the family legacy.
Nathan was a fiercely ambitious and competitive man, as quick to take offense as to give it in his business dealings.
With £20,000 his father gave him as investment, Nathan plans to maximize it as quickly as possible by any means necessary.
In the early 1800s, London textile industry saw significant growth. This industry was marked by many small-scale workshops and factories that produced many different types of textiles, from cotton to silk.
Nathan sees an opportunity to capitalize on this growth while maximizing profits.
He managed to create 3 sources of profits from the textile industry.
According to his own account, Nathan was successful in his early days. I soon found that there were 3 profits: the raw material, the dyeing, and the manufacturing. I said to the manufacturer, "I will supply you with material and dye, and you will supply me with manufactured goods." So I got 3 profits instead of 1, and I could sell goods cheaper than anybody. In a short time, I made my £20,000 into £60,000.
To ensure consistent revenue, Nathan also ventures into the lucrative realm of smuggling textiles and precious metals.
He became, in a word, a smuggler. By 1808, Nathan had earned a reputation as a man who had, thanks to his superior management, judgment, foresight, and connections, regularly succeeded in getting goods to the continent.
Within just a few years of initiating his business in London, Nathan reports impressive gross sales of £800,000. Now, with substantial capital at hand, Nathan sets his sights on transforming his enterprise into a bank. He plans to build it to be bigger than his father's bank in Frankfurt.
Are you ready?
Oh my God!
It's Ryan Reynolds. I know Halloween was a few weeks ago, but right now, the big wireless companies are trying to trick you into signing long, expensive contracts. Ooh, scary.
By 1812, Mayor Amschel Rothschild's health deteriorates rapidly. He soon realizes that death is inevitable. And to ensure the House of Rothschild remains prosperous, he urges his sons to put their family unity first and above all.
This is one of the foundations for the long-standing success of the Rothschild dynasty. Their strong bond as a family and their unique way of doing business are reasons they're still successful today.
As the Rothschild sons establish their banking houses in different cities, Europe enters an age of wars set to span over a century.
Whereas the 18th century wars had tended to be limited, had tended to end in a truce where people sat down and negotiated, the wars of the 19th century, at least some of them, became increasingly ideological and increasingly difficult to stop.
Thanks to its sophisticated finance system, the United Kingdom wages 6 wars in the century without facing an economic collapse.
Today we live in a world dominated by a single superpower, the United States. Indeed, it sometimes seems a little bit as if we've become part of the American empire. Yet Britain was the world's superpower for more than 2 centuries, exerting even more power beyond her borders than the US does today.
By 1814, the Duke of Wellington wins battle after battle against Napoleon and plans to bring the fight to France. But while in France, Wellington realizes the need for a significant amount of French coins for expenses.
Wellington's campaign was being fought at a time of unparalleled fiscal overstretch. In protracted campaigns like Wellington's in the Iberian Peninsula, more sophisticated methods of procurement were necessary. Above all, it was essential to be able to purchase supplies and to pay troops.
Nathan sees this as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If he can meet this challenging demand, it can elevate his bank to unprecedented heights.
Nathan subsequently made what he had done sound easy. When I was settled in London, the East India Company had £800,000 worth of gold to sell. I went to the sale and bought it all. I knew the Duke of Wellington must have it. I had bought a great many of his bills at a discount. The government sent for me and said they must have it. When they got it, they did not know how to get it to Portugal. I undertook all that and I sent it to France. And that was the best business I ever did.
By the mid-1800s, as Europe turns into a hotbed of war, its countries increasingly need the foreign exchange market.
To start a war, you need money. If you lose a war, you often have to pay the other side.
For the House of Rothschild, wars become a profitable business. Their network of banking houses provides a unique competitive advantage.
Back then, the modern banking system was just starting, so they could charge high fees, sometimes as much as 8% for providing currency exchange services.
But revenues from commissions are just a small part of their income source. The Rothschilds understand that in the world of finance, information is everything, and speed is king.
They were one of the earliest successful forex traders.
using private carriers, and even leveraging well-trained horses and pigeons. The Rothschilds stay steps ahead of the competitors.
As a result, currency speculation becomes their most profitable business. The profit for the London house keeps rolling in, and Nathan Rothschild becomes the richest man in the world. But even the most powerful man in finance can't defeat the ultimate enemy. On July 28, 1836, the unexpected happens. Nathan Rothschild, the wealthiest man in the world, dies at the age of 58.
This was surprising because the Rothschild family was known for living long lives. In fact, when Nathan died, his mother was still alive, and she lived to be over 90 years old.
The London Times gathered itself up for one of its rare superlatives. The death of Nathan Mayer Rothschild, an editorial said, is one of the most important events for the city and perhaps for Europe in a long time. No operations comparable to his have existed in Europe to this time.
Nathan Rothschild's death has a huge impact on the market, but the House of Rothschild lives on without him. Thanks to a decentralized banking system they have created, the banks of Rothschild's family continue to thrive. But now, they need a new leader. Nathan Rothschild's youngest brother, James Rothschild in Paris, becomes the commander-in-chief of the family dynasty. For James, the pressure of being a Rothschild is immense. While government bonds and war financing remain profitable businesses for the family, the competition saturates the playing field, eating away at their profit margin. To bring his family new glory, he looks for a new edge.
Nathan's youngest brother James was markedly less submissive to his will than the other three. The youngest brother was intellectually and temperamentally Nathan's equal. He also had the advantage of a better schooling. Even in acknowledging Nathan's leadership, James was less than deferential.
James Rothschild soon sets his sights on a new burgeoning industry, the railroads. In the early 1800s, Europe witnesses rapid railroad expansion, starting with England's Stockton-Darlington line in 1825. Railroads revolutionize transportation, foster industrial growth, enhance trade, and reshape landscapes, ultimately connecting major European cities and regions. Throughout the 1840s, the Rothschilds provide financing for many railway ventures, reaping substantial profits from commissions and trading railroad bonds and stocks.
The Rothschilds were clever with their money. They often used other people's money to reduce their own risks. James Rothschild played a big part in what was known as syndicate in France during this time.
By now, the Rothschilds are more than bankers, but the bank remains at the heart of the family business and generates the funds that are then invested in assets that are in increasing demand. Metallurgy, mining, and above all, railways.
While profits for the House of Rothschild soar, average people struggle to make ends meet. The income disparity between the rich and the poor remains as pronounced as ever.
The industrialists of that period of time are people who are out for themselves to make large fortunes as quickly as possible, even if it means pressing the envelope of what they have to do.
After suffering consecutive wartime defeats, by the 1840s, the French government finds itself deep in debt, and as a result, the nation's economy teeters on the brink, leading the French populace to grow increasingly resentful of both the government and the financiers backing them. Within days, the Rothschild Bank in France nears its breaking point.
The best deal of the year is here. We're talking about the 50% off Black Friday sale for Daily Wire Plus. You need to subscribe right now because we have time.
As the head of the French bank, James is desperate to save his institution. he turns to his nephew in London, Lionel, the son of Nathan Rothschild, for assistance.
The French Revolution brought their houses in Vienna and Paris to the brink of insolvency, obliging the others in London to bail them out.
By then, the Rothschild family's banking business had been around for almost 2 generations.
For Lionel, bailing out his uncle's branch poses a significant risk and at a potential loss. However, to him, family unity ranks above all else. His London bank arranges a loan, saving his uncle's bank from collapse. But it doesn't stop there. Lionel Rothschild believes in prioritizing his family, but he also feels compelled to uplift his people. Lionel thinks that to further the cause of eliminating prejudice against people of his ethnicity, it's beneficial to enter government.
Lionel had a lot of money, so he used the money to buy a lot of press to help him get elected.
By the middle of the 19th century, most of the restrictions on British Jews had been done away with. The Commons passed a bill permitting the seating of a Jew. In August 1847, Lionel de Rothschild mounted the hustings as Liberal candidate for the City of London. Lionel was elected.
There is a problem. To be fully sworn in as a member of the Commons, he would have to recite an oath to the Holy Scriptures. But Lionel refuses and insists he will swear only on the Old Testament. Becoming part of the government is monumental for the House of Rothschild. As James Rothschild ages, Lionel gradually assumes the role of the family's patriarch. But what Lionel doesn't realize is that though the House of Rothschild reigns supreme in Europe, a new banking empire emerges, poised to challenge their dominance. The early success of Rothschild is largely attributed to information, intelligence, and knowledge. Nowadays, learning anything is much easier as we have access to vast resources online. One of the best ways to learn math, data science, and computer science interactively is with Brilliant.org.
Brilliant is fantastic because it offers more than online learning. It's interactive, visually engaging, and perfect for busy individuals.
Complex topics are broken down into bite-sized lessons, making it easy to master concepts with just 15 minutes of practice a day.
Recently, I've been diving into their cryptocurrency course, learning about blockchain, and it helps me get a better understanding of crypto projects and whether they're worth
riddles, and games, allowing you to enjoy the learning process without having to simply memorize facts. They expand their courses with new content monthly, including How Large Language Models Work, a course designed to help people stay ahead of the AI wave.
Additionally, you get to learn practical skills that can potentially enhance your professional career for a lifetime.
Hope everybody ate a lot yesterday.
/Phineas or click the link in the description for a 30-day free trial. The first 200 customers will receive a 20% discount on their annual premium subscription.
Thank you,
I reshaped
Brilliant,
this
for
arm
sponsoring
and
this
this
video.
sleeve once, like I edited from the source
Junius Morgan
reference
is a British banker of the
because I
merchant
felt
banking
like
firm,
the
George
sleeve was
Peabody
too
and
baggy.
Company. By 1864,
I still
upon
feel like it's
Peabody's
a little
retirement,
too baggy, so I'm
Junius
trying to
takes
slim
control of
it
the
down
firm.
a little bit more. So I may
Junius Morgan
pull
always had
like
a
some of
gravely
this table
mature air.
into it.
He was the sort of prematurely middle-aged young man old financiers found consoling. He was solemn and businesslike and always master of his emotions.
Junius Morgan understands that to play in the big league, he needs to venture into government financing. And for a banker in the 1800s, nothing presents more opportunities than wars. In 1867, France tries to purchase Luxembourg from the Netherlands. However, Prussia opposes the move, leading to rising tensions. The Chancellor of Prussia, the notoriously ruthless military man, Otto von Bismarck, waits for an opportunity to strike.
Yeah, Bismarck wasn't playing that
On
shit.
July 19, 1870, Napoleon III declares war on Prussia. This declaration aligns perfectly with Bismarck's aspirations for a war that would further German unification under Prussian leadership.
From the very beginning, Bismarck had a wild temperament.
and it was very difficult for him to rein it in. He had these two sides, a clear intellect and tremendous precision. It was the combination of his wildness and his intelligence that drove him to escapades, drunken excess, or duels or fencing. Bismarck always wanted to fence to prove his manliness. I see him as a raging bull.
Having financed wars for a century, the House of Rothschild possesses an uncanny ability to predict if a country will win or lose. They have no faith in France to defeat the formidable Otto von Bismarck, and it will not make sense to lend money to France. While major banking houses like Rothschild and Baring avoid lending money to the French government, Junius Morgan sees this as the opportunity of a lifetime. It doesn't matter to him if France can win the war. What's crucial is if France can repay the loans. He quickly understands that even if France loses, the nation's economic resilience ensures their capability to pay back the loans.
Although French politics was very shaky at the time, the French economy was very diversified, and more importantly, it had a very efficient tax collection system.
Through his syndicate, Junius Morgan raises over £10 million for the French army. As an American banker, he also grants the French government access to purchase American arms. The war resulted in a decisive German victory. The conflict ended with the Treaty of Frankfurt in 1871, leading to significant territorial losses for France and the proclamation of the German Empire in the Hall of Mirrors at the Palace of Versailles. When the war ended, the defeated French didn't renege on the loan, as Bismarck predicted. Instead, they prepaid the bonds in 1873. As a result, Junius Morgan walks away with a fortune from this windfall.
The loan netted him a whopping £1.5 million. This vastly augmented his firm's capital and propelled him into the upper ranks of government financing.
And now, the House of Morgan has become a formidable force in finance. While Junius Morgan strives to establish his banking dynasty, the House of Rothschild faces mounting challenges. Following the death of James Rothschild in 1868, the younger generations of Rothschilds become increasingly fragmented. To rebuild their prestige, they look beyond Europe, investing heavily overseas, allocating 37% of their portfolio to Egypt and financing Indian railroads. But to truly recapture their past success, they need a more expansive marketplace. As old empires fade, a new empire emerges, bigger and more powerful than any of the world has ever seen. From the 1850s to the 1870s, America experiences significant growth, propelled by the Industrial Revolution, westward expansion, and the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869. This era witnesses the ascent of industrial magnates. Cornelius Vanderbilt reigns in railroads, Andrew Carnegie in steel, and John D. Rockefeller in oil, culminating in the formation of Standard Oil. These tycoons transform American business, introducing innovations and fresh organizational structures.
The story of America isn't just the story of the patriots that helped build the democracy. The reason the United States is the leading economy in the world is because of the work of entrepreneurs who created entire industries that propelled the United States to be the leader of the free world.
For years, the Rothschilds underestimated America, deeming it a land of madmen. But seeing the rise of the House of Morgan and Wall Street's emergence as the new global financial hub, the House of Rothschild starts to pursue more business opportunities. And nothing presents better opportunities than when there is blood on the street. For America, that day arrives on May 9th, 1893. Following
Let me move
decades
this
of a booming
to the big
railroad
screen.
market, the industry, plagued by overexpansion and overbuilding, suddenly collapses. The result is one of the worst depressions in history, the Panic of 1893. The President, Grover Cleveland, is determined to maintain the gold standard and refuses to engage in expansionary fiscal policies such as tax cuts and increased government spending.
Back then, the US dollar was not the main global currency. The British pound was. President Cleveland felt that to maintain the credibility of the US government, he must maintain the convertibility of dollars to gold.
The Cleveland government is running dangerously low on gold reserves, so he calls on J. Pierpont Morgan for assistance.
Around this time in the late 1800s, Junius Morgan had passed away in a traffic accident, making J. Pierpont Morgan the head of the House of Morgan.
The federal government is days away from depleting its gold reserves. Morgan understands the outcome will be disastrous for the young country and for his own banking empire, and he knows there is one family with access to a vast amount of gold that can help the federal government: the House of Rothschild. For the last 3 decades, the Rothschilds have been strategically investing in mining operations for gold and silver.
Their interests in gold mining grew rapidly. Moreover, many of the bond issues handled by the Rothschilds in this period were linked to the recipient's adoption of the gold standard.
J.P. Morgan raises $65 million by issuing government bonds and uses the money to negotiate with the Rothschilds, purchasing 3.5 million ounces of gold for the Fed.
Back then, banks really liked doing business with the government. Why? Because governments usually pay back their debts, and they can always collect more taxes if needed.
The collaboration of Morgan and Rothschild makes their bond offering one of the most sought-after investments. The gold bonds sell out in 30 minutes when offered to the public. America enters the world scene as a new empire, one that rivals any in the history of the world, a superpower. While the Rothschilds successfully expand their business reach in America and throughout the world by the late 1800s and early 1900s, the old empires in Europe head for another major showdown. By the early 1900s, tensions among European powers reach a boiling point, fueled by imperial rivalries, military buildups, and complex alliances. While the path to war threatens businesses with potential catastrophe, the House of Rothschild sees an opportunity to capitalize on the growing tensions. The head of the London Rothschild Bank is Natty Rothschild. He advocates for the British government to expand its naval capabilities.
So many European countries started to spend more on their militaries. For that, they needed money.
What the Rothschilds don't realize is that the war that is about to unfold will be more brutal and deadly than any they have ever encountered before. Following the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary, Europe plunges once again into full-blown war.
Black hand assassinated Ferdinand.
Serbians are saying, we don't want to be ruled by the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That's an old, tired, imperialistic structure. We are our own country. It's the Serbians who assassinate Archduke Ferdinand and his wife Sophie, and of course, that's the trigger that begins the whole conflict.
This war features trench warfare, new weaponry, and results in massive casualties, with an estimated 10 million soldiers and 7 million civilians dead. For the first time, members of the Rothschild family align with opposing sides. Though the Rothschilds survive World War I and even profit from war financing, their scale of operation is overshadowed by the rising banking dynasty in America, the House of Morgan, now led by J. Pierpont Morgan's son, Jack Morgan. the Morgan Bank serves as the key financier for the U.S. government during World War I, raising funds through war bonds and extending crucial loans to European allies.
In 1935, the Jewish Chronicle ventured to suggest, with perhaps a hint of relief, that the Rothschilds' heyday was waning. The most intellectually gifted of the next generation of Rothschild men turned his back on the family business.
After World War I, the House of Rothschild finds itself in disarray, and different banking divisions pursue various objectives and become more integrated into the countries where they operate. At the same time, Europe sees a surge in anti-Semitic sentiment, driven by economic hardships and political unrest. The Rothschild family, as prominent Jewish bankers, faces heightened scrutiny and hostility. In Germany, following its defeat, the nation endures one of its most severe economic downturns. A new kind of leader harnesses the anger of the German public and swiftly rises to the position of chancellor. His rise to power spells trouble for the House of Rothschild, especially the German banking branches. In 1939, just 21 years after the end of World War I, the biggest war in human history erupts. In the spring of 1940, Hitler secures victory after victory. Denmark and Norway quickly fall under occupation. Next, the German army sweeps across the Netherlands and Belgium. Europe makes a desperate stand in France, but it's no match for German armor and air power. And by June, Hitler's in Paris. Britain is the Germans' next target. If Hitler conquers Europe, the House of Rothschild will face its certain demise. While some Rothschild members engage in resistance movements against the Nazi occupation, many flee Europe to escape persecution, seeking exile in safer countries.
When German tanks rolled into Paris in 1940, the French Rothschilds were in grave peril. The older ones, Edward, Robert, and Morris, managed to escape. They ended up by sundry paths and stops in the United States or England.
As a result, the family endures significant financial and personal losses as their assets are seized and properties confiscated.
General Eisenhower informs me that the forces of Germany have surrendered to the United Nations. The flags of freedom fly all over Europe.
As the Rothschild dynasty becomes increasingly fragmented, N.M. Rothschild of London takes on the challenge of rebuilding and carving out its own direction. For N.M. Rothschild and Sons, their core competitive advantage remains government financing.
This has also been a core strategy of the Rothschilds. They work closely with the government to finance big projects. The Rothschild believes that as long as they have good relationships with the governments of strong countries, their business will always do well.
Rather than aiming for expansion, Rothschild preserves its business model as a private club, financing elites while evading public scrutiny. By the 1970s, a future media mogul seeks N.M. Rothschild's assistance. His name is Robert Maxwell. Maxwell served in the British Army during World War II. After the war, he worked for British intelligence and later entered the publishing industry. In the 1950s and 1960s, Maxwell acquired several British publishing companies, including Pergamon Press and Mirror Group newspapers.
He had a traumatic beginning to his life as a child, and most Holocaust. I think the experience of extreme poverty and great hardship scarred him for life. Not being poor became an absolute imperative.
But to expand his business empire, he will need money. Lots of money. The type only powerhouses like the Rothschilds can provide. In the 1980s, Maxwell's investments look like they're doing well, but trouble is brewing inside N.M. Rothschild. Lord Victor Rothschild and his son Jacob are on one side, fighting with their cousin Sir Evelyn de Rothschild. Around this time, the banking world was changing a lot. Bigger banks were acquiring smaller ones, making them mega banks, and new ways of making money, like derivatives and options, came up in the 1980s. These new tools help banks make more money and also help them manage risk better.
Yo, that's the
Rothschild believes the bank.
That's the new joint with Denzel Washington Jr. I know that's not his name. I keep forgetting his name. But yeah, I've been wanting to, but you got to, oh, you already put it in the library? I think I tried to watch that shit, and it was like, you had to pay for that shit. But, oh, bro, I've been peeped that one. Just like the Tenet. That was weird. I watched it like 3 times. Still can't figure it out all the way, but it's still a fun-ass movie. But like I said, we got the same taste. Like when it comes to like anything science fiction or space, futurism, aliens, but that's my shit, man. Sci-fi is my go-to. Like now, if it's some sci-fi, goddamn anime, that's a double wham. But like science fiction, anime are like my top 2 genres. After that would probably be like comedy. I don't mind a good comedy movie. After I would rather watch a comedy movie than watch like gangster movies. Like I've seen most of them or some of the better ones, but I've never been good on like gangster movies. Oh, nice. Definitely check the library out. Like Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood and all that. That shit is like, some of those films are good, but that shit is like lower on my watch list. So I would definitely rather watch science fiction, anime, fantasy, like some comedy or action adventure. Benji the Hunted. But yeah, everything you've ever suggested so far, 10 out of 10, bro. Spot on, right on the money. I'm watching Invasion right now. Man, that's a good one too. Well, I don't know. I keep finding myself saying, who wrote that part? I've said it like 3 times because there's a couple times where it's just like, come on, man, the math ain't mathing. But it's still like a fun show. Some okay acting with the script is written pretty good. So I'm trying to see how this one gonna play out. Invasion. I'm thinking I should have just painted all of that black and then did the gray on top, but I had already got started doing it that way, so now I'm gonna have to be forced to fill in this shit.
Must adapt to modern corporate strategies and pursue aggressive expansion.
That be my main thing, man. Especially when the show be good and everything be flowing, like, okay, I'm into it. I'm believing it. Okay, and then something happened like, well, wait. Who Who wrote that? and Invasion. I think it was I don't know. It was 2 in 1. Like, there's one scene where the kids are on the field trip and they're all on the bus. And then so some crazy shit start happening all at the same time. Like, some shit start falling from the sky. Well, no. This kid start having a seizure first. And so while the kid is having a seizure, everybody's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And the bus driver is like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he's looking backwards as he's driving. You're driving a bus full of kids. Instead of keeping your eyes on the road, you're looking backwards. But on top of that, there's everybody screaming in distress about this one kid shouting, "Are you okay? What's wrong?" And you don't stop the bus. Instead of stopping the bus, you continue to drive and just look backward. And then you start asking the same questions. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Hey, whoa. Who wrote that part right there? Why didn't you just stop the bus, bro? There's clearly something wrong with the children. And instead of stopping the bus completely, you just look back while you're still driving. And then some shit starts falling out the sky, which isn't anyone's fault. You know, shit just falls from the sky. He swerves to miss this stuff, and the bus falls off the edge of this pit and falls straight down into like this 50-foot pit. Straight down, 50 feet. Bus full of kids. Nobody dies. I don't want the kids to die. I don't want none of the kids to die. But if y'all on this old ass bus, no seatbelts on this bitch, and y'all driving 35, 40 miles an hour, and you go head first off a goddamn 50-foot drop straight down, the chances are that not everyone is going to survive that. Some people definitely would, with the luck and grace of God. But everybody's not going to survive that. But somehow, magically, everybody survived the fucking fall. Every kid survived that shit. Even the bus driver. Now, the bus driver was severely injured. And he died the next day. But he's at the front of the bus that drops off a 50-foot cliff straight down. And he didn't die. He didn't die on impact. Okay. Alright, who wrote that part? Come on. Fess up. Who wrote that? And then after that part, there was like one more. I can't even remember what it was. But there was one more incident where I was like, wait, whoa. I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with the show. Because it's only, I think there's only 2 seasons of it out right now. And I'm already on season 2, so I might as well just roll it out. Well, I'm taking notes, motherfucker. Keeping mental notes. For sure. Oh, yeah. Ouch. Yeah, you got me on a little TV kick now. Like I say, normally I do what I be doing when I'm in the studio. I watch a lot of YouTube, bro. Just, there's a few content creators, and they normally just get me through my week. I listen to Russell Brand for the news. I listen to this guy, Dre OG, with his TikTok conspiracies, and then I'll do like this right here and watch a few documentaries or something. Other than that, I be trying to play video games. Now, my video game time is getting cut so short because I'm watching TV. I want some more Foundation. I want some more everything now. The Foundation series, Silo. Gotta see some more Silo. I really want to see how they're gonna wrap up this season 2 of Invasion. Now the movie, the Creator. That shit look like some futuristic shit with some AI robots and all kind of stuff, man. Terminator. They made Terminator all over again. But yeah, there's a lot of good entertainment out right now. A lot of shit that I wasn't aware of. I be needing help when it comes to trying to find good shit to watch. I need help with that shit sometimes because I don't be knowing what's even out there. I say the last show that I was watching brand new when the new episodes was coming out every week was The Walking Dead. And I didn't even do that at the last part of it. Like, I probably stopped doing that around season 6 or 7. Because I know that, like, I had to get caught up. After Carl died, after that season when they killed the young boy off, man, I just stopped watching it faithfully like that. After that, I wasn't. I've never. I've never waited for a new episode to come out for any show since they killed Carl on The Walking Dead. But before that shit, bro, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock, nigga. Sunday at 9. Yo, don't fucking call me, don't text me, don't ask me to chill or go nowhere, yo. Sunday nights at 9 was my jam. Walking Dead. And then after that, they had the little talk show, The Talking Dead. I'll watch that shit too. And that was my Sunday nights for a couple years. The Walking Dead and Talking Dead. Then after that, I take my ass to sleep. Like I said, since then, I don't think I've ever kept up with like a new TV show. Everything else is so streamable now. Just you can like binge the whole fucking season. Don't have to wait for new content. No, you do, but not like you used to. Now they'll produce the whole season before they give it to you. Just give you all the shit at once. Alright. Well, personally, I feel like this underpainting is done. Everything is blocked in for the most part. And so I'm not exactly sure what the next image will be. I need to figure that out today. Like, what am I painting next? So I've gotten these two started. And I'm almost sure that pyramid is ready to be detailed. It should be nice and dry enough to start detailing that one. But I still want to I may want to start one more canvas and get another underpainting done before I start working my way through these paintings right yet. Damn, why can't I match that color? It needs to be a little darker. I keep trying to make it dark, but can't get dark enough. Now it's too dark, which is better than being too light, I guess. Alright, so yeah. I'm actually pleased with this underpainting. Got a good roadmap for how I want this thing to look. How long did it took me? Oh, a little 3 hours. Ain't too much. A little 2-3 hours. You know what I'm saying? But I'm really excited for this one too, because like I say, the background is so soft. I want to see how can I make all these like soft little lights in the background that, I don't know, there's a hard contrast, and then you have all like these digital lights that doesn't have like a really sharp defined edge, and then all these other little like blurry bokeh effects in the background, just really soft and feathered out. Yeah, so I can't wait to actually detail this one. Really haven't done anything like this before with like holograms and like floating lights with a really like blurred out background and a sharp focus foreground. We'll see though. So I tried to make the background as soft as I could already. Even with just the underpainting, I want it to be really soft. We'll see what we can do from here. But I'm definitely gonna figure out the next image today. I may not actually start it today, but at least I want to know where I'm going. And I was thinking about generating some more images. Damn, let me take a bathroom break. I need to clean these brushes out before I leave too.
Sir Evelyn, who leads N.M. Rothschild and Sons, asserts that modernizing the ownership structure risks the family's absolute control. He insists the Rothschilds' bank must always be wholly owned by the Rothschilds, even if it demands short-term sacrifices. But family drama soon become their least concern. A massive scandal erupts, threatening the Rothschilds' reputation.
The millionaire newspaper publisher Robert Maxwell is dead. He disappeared overboard from his private yacht early this morning while cruising off the Canary Islands.
In the early 1990s, revelations surfaced that Maxwell misappropriated hundreds of millions from his employees' pension funds to sustain his enterprises and luxurious life.
I feel that, and I've grappled with this a lot, I feel that possibly the line between suicide and an accident is less clear-cut than we tend to assume.
Maxwell's mysterious death in 1991, after vanishing from his yacht near the Canary Islands, spurs investigations into his financial misdeeds. While the Rothschilds' involvement in Maxwell's demise remains unclear, the event blemishes their reputation. But for Sir Evelyn de Rothschild, The scandal reaffirms his beliefs about the bank's need for discretion and privacy. But N.M. Rothschild is still just the tip of the extensive Rothschild legacy. By 2023, the Rothschild family diversifies its interests across multiple sectors, extending beyond traditional banking. Their enterprises encompass investment banking, wealth and asset management, private equity, and philanthropy. The original banking establishments in Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, London, and Naples, once the bedrock of the Rothschild banking dynasty, have adapted to the evolving financial landscape. While banking is still central, the family's influence now permeates a wider range of financial services.
Throughout history, the Rothschild family was often not hesitant about making more money. But when it comes to maintaining family legacy, they were able to let go of those opportunities. This kind of long-term view is both respected and scary.
Yo, the Rothschilds been around forever. You don't hear their names like that no more, but the motherfuckers still right there. And then George Maxwell, who they was talking about, who asked them for help in the 80s. The media mogul and tycoon, that's Ghislaine Maxwell's father. All these connections and all these ties, man, like, you know, these motherfuckers was already in cahoots with the royal family and everybody. It's that inner circle, and that's why the Rothschilds don't want their name out there no more. For a while, it was cool for people to know who they is and all this shit, man. Them motherfuckers real quiet now. They can reach that level of like. So much, their networks are so sophisticated, they don't need to say shit, and they don't want nobody else saying shit. Don't call my name and nothing. I get when you get money, it comes from an anonymous donor. I don't need to tell nobody where this shit come from. Alright, I think I'm about to, might go hop on the game for a minute. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll probably hop on the game while I finish doing laundry. And after the laundry is done, I fold some clothes up. And I need to do something one day on hair today. Alright, we got something done this morning. I feel accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Got a little something done. yeah, so what's next? What's next? What's next is the question. Yeah, let me take the iPad down. I definitely need to like I said, figure some more shit out. Alright, take that with me. Turn this off. That's off, that's off, that's off. Turn that off. The brushes are clean. And we did a smooth 3 hours. That's what's up. Alright, bro. Sure appreciate y'all chilling, kicking it with me. And I'll get with y'all downstairs. I probably, like I said, I might hop on the game for a minute. Might stream some games. And then I need to get back on the iPad and come up with some more art. But I'll catch y'all down there. Peace.